Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jatapadakamalам Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Sri Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sanyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. We are starting with a new chapter today. Chapter number 9, 2 kinds of Raganuga Bhakti. Earlier in this book, the spontaneous devotion of Brajavasis have been shown to be of 2 kinds, the sacred lust and relationship. Since Raganuga Bhakti follows in the wake of the love of the Brajavasis, it has the same 2 divisions called Kamanuga and Sambandhanuga, respectively. In the former, the practicing devotee is inspired by the love of the young gopis of Vraja, whereas in the later, the practitioner aspires for the loving sentiments of other Vrajvasis. The sacred lust of the gopis is expressed in the terms of activities inspired by their love for Krishna. When a practicing devotee follows in the footsteps of the gopis because of his longing for their kind of love, he is known as Kamanuga Sadhaka. As already mentioned, the activities of such a devotee are of 2 kinds. Thoughts enacted by mind and action of the external senses. Rupa Goswami briefly describes the practitioner's longing for this kind of bhakti as thirst or trishna. Thirst or trishna. This is in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, first canto, 2nd chapter, 297th verse. So, here the topic of Ramya Kajit Upasana Brajavadhur Vargena Ja Kalpita. Kalpita means as they conceived, the gopis conceived the kind of upasana that we are supposed to follow in the footsteps of gopis. For upasana means the practice. Upasana remain always closely situated. Upasana. So Kamanuga and Sambandhanuga. Kamanuga is that one inspired by love of young gopis of Vraja. And The other is Sambandhanuga, means other than the gopis. That is the mood of other Brijavasis. So Sambandhanuga, that is in relationship of gopis, you know, uh, the relatives of the gopis. So the inspiration to follow and is coming through either directly the gopis or the relatives of the gopis. So a Kamanuga sadhaka is described by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that the practitioner is longing for this kind of bhakti as a thirst, Trishna. Trishna is essential unless and you are thirsty. Trishna means thirst. Unless and you are thirsty, you will not want to drink water. In similar, say, a thirst is arising in the mind of the sadhak to follow directly in the footsteps of the gopis, or they get inspiration from the relatives of the gopis or subordinate to gopis in that sense, because gopis are the highest in the devotional practices. The thirst of sadhak is for following the gopis in the two kinds. That which desires ichha. Ichha means the desire to follow those who enjoy union, that is sambhoga with Krishna, and that which desires ichha to follow those who do not have union with Krishna but aspire for the gopis, love, bhav for him. These are the distinctions. Whether one wants to follow directly in the footsteps of the gopis, or that is gopis' desire for union. Union means very closeness to Lord Shri Krishna in their spiritual body. So the terminology here is now the thirst cannot arise unless you have desire for it. Or in either way, sometimes the thirst is there, then the desire comes. This is some kind of very closeness. Then the thirst is there, and then desire to drink water. So thirst for closeness, extreme closeness with Krishna is the desire. So unless and until one is having a longing, then the desire. There is two separation of one which arises in the mind and then one tries to put in action. So similarly, the sadhak, his thirst for following the gopis is of two kinds. That which desires means the ichha to follow those who enjoyed the union, that is sambhogi, and with Krishna, and that which desires ichha to follow those who don't have union with Krishna but aspire for the gopis, love, bhav for him. So with or without union. Now this word union cannot be translated as sex life. Sambhog, the word sam means together and bhoga means enjoyment. The closeness with Lord Krishna and the interactions of Lord Sri Krishna, that is becoming the uh, desire and response. Now, there will be very, very great closeness to whether this desire of the gopi is one-way track or it's with the reciprocation of Krishna. So right now we are talking only from the side of the practitioner and following in the footsteps of the gopi, then it desires closeness to Lord Shri Krishna. We are not talking that whether Krishna is reciprocating or not. So the word, when Krishna reciprocates, then it becomes a union, means interaction between the two. And that does not necessarily mean the debauched meaning of sex. So the thirst for a sadhak for following the gopis is of two kinds. That which desires, means ichha, to follow those who enjoy union, that is called sambhoga, with Krishna, and that which desires ichha to follow those who do not have union with Krishna but aspire for the gopis' love, bhav for him. So with or without union. The two kinds of Kamanuga Bhakti are called Sambhogichamai and Tad Tad Bhavat Ichatma, respectively. Sambhogichamai means to desire the union, and Tadat Ichha Atma, even not desiring union, but without union, the feelings of the gopi should be there. I hope this is understandable. Of the two kinds of Kamanuga Bhakti, Sambhogichamai is one least aspired by the devotees, and of the two, it's Chakravarti Thakur, Tad Bhavichatma is preferable. See? The mood will be that without getting closer to Krishna, the feelings of the gopis can be cultivated. That is, tad bhavechatma. Bhav, tad bhav. The bhav will be there, and it might be like to assist the gopis in the same bhava. We cultivate the desire. So that bhavechatma, bhav ichha atma, bhavechatma is preferable. That is the opinion of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Why is that? Because the mood of Taddad Bhavichatma possesses a special kind of sweetness that is absent in Sambhogichamai. This sweetness inspires partially towards Tadat Bhavichatma in practitioners and perfected devotees like Raghunath Das Goswami expresses in this. So, Tadat Bhavichatma is the closeness of this mood of the gopis who desires union, but the practitioner doesn't want to imitate union, but cultivate the intense ichha of gopi to assist. So Raghunath Das Goswami is expresses in this Padabhajoyo Padabhajoyo Tava Vina Vara Dasyam Eva Nanyat Kadapi Samaye Kila Deviya Che Sakhyaya Te Mamam Namo Astu Nityam Dasyaya Te Mama Rasoastu Satyam. O Queen, I shall never ask you for anything other than direct service to your lotus feet. I offer my respectful obeisances to you, your friendship. I offer my respectful obeisances to your friendship again and again. May I find your service as sweet as nectar. May I find your service as sweet as nectar. What is the cause of this special sweetness? I think we are coming closer to understand what is meant by Palyadasi. What is the cause of special sweetness? That is expressed by Raghunath Das Goswami in Vilapa Kusumanjali, the verse number 16. We will be studying this Vilasa Kusumanjali also. Shivram Maharaj has advanced in capturing this disciplined way of understanding. And we'll be very grateful when we come to that stage. But this is the what we call understanding the system that is required. System has to be understood first. Then, according to the system, there is a gradual development in our practice. So we can't jump in, but at the same time, we have every right to understand this system. I told before in meditation that we may not be mature enough, but we should understand the system before we put in practice. That is internal bhajan. Just like external bhajan, we had also to practice and understand what comes after. We cannot jump into thinking that we have understood everything. Now, we have to gradually mature in our successive stages in the practice. Adau Shraddha Tato Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya Nartha Nivritti Shyat Tato Nishtha Ruchi. These are successive stages. So in the same way, there is an internal bhajan, and it is also very disciplined and to be done stage-wise. So understanding nomenclature is maybe difficult, but at the same time, the distinction between the terms is there. So, what is the cause of this special sweetness? By following this second kind of tad bhavichatma practice, instead of Sambhogicha. We do not want ourselves to directly become close. Rather, we want to become close to the gopi who has cultivated this power. If one desires that without the help of gopis, they want to imitate the practice of gopis, then it's a mistake. Always remain behind the gopis. Gopi Bhartu means that gopi has been maintained by Lord Shri Krishna in his reciprocation. But we follow the gopis, means we are not before the gopis right in front of Krishna, but we are following those who are so much intimately serving with love. So we need to become like an assistant to the gopi. That is the word. So what is the cause of this special sweetness? Gopis were whose karma is of the nature of tadat bhava michatma, have the service of a maid servant to those gopis who desire union with Krishna, like Chandravali. Chandravali is by relationship. She is the cousin of Srimati Radharani. Radharani was the daughter of Rishabhanu. Then Chandravali is the cousin of Nanda Maharaj's brother Upananda, I think. That is mentioned. Correct me. Chandravali's daughter. So these two cousins, they are being like rival. They are like rival. But superiority of Radharani will be so much intensified than that of Chandravali, which is coming closeness. But Radharani always wins. So Radharani wins the favor of Krishna, but Chandravali becomes a kind of cause for Radharani to love on the extreme to Lord Shri Krishna. So even in that as a competitor mood, but the intensification of the love is more in Radharani than in Chandravali. That is to be appreciated later. But this is what I'm thinking of in the superfluous way. But what it means here, that it is better to remain as Palyadasi. Palya means kept, or I'm that my love is remaining reposed on the serving mood of that particular gopi who has that intensify love. Okay, so to desire that tad bhave chatma. Bhakti Vinod Thakur thus sings that Palya Dasi Kori Lalita Sundari Amare Loya Kave. When she will be able to accept me, it means desire is there, and expression of that desire has also come in that particular song of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So gopis whose kama is of the nature of taddat bhavichatma have the service of a maid servant to those gopis who desire union with Krishna. Like Chandravali. By that kama, they not only enjoy the bliss of serving gopis like Sri Radhika, but additionally they enjoy the bliss that their mistresses enjoy with Krishna. So, mistress is one who is in union with Krishna, and maid servant of that mistress is the desire for an aspiring uh, uh, devotee to Taddat Bhavechatma. So this has a special sweetness. Uh, Special sweetness is uh, said to be that Raghunath Das Goswami desired that I offer my respectful obeisances to your friendship again and again. May I find your service as sweet as nectar. So repeatedly twice means yes, it is confirmed. So by that karma, they do not only enjoy the bliss of serving gopis like Sri Radhika, but additionally they enjoy the bliss of their mistresses enjoy with Krishna. So there is a double uh, um, benefit for becoming Taddat Bhavichatmika. Uh, uh, so, so by that desire, that karma, the sadhak not only enjoy the bliss of serving the gopis like Sri Radhika, but additionally they enjoy the bliss of their mistresses enjoy with Krishna. Right. So you can understand we never jump and replace Srimati Radharani. Moreover, their innocence and their selflessness in serving both their heroine and the hero brings karma to the zenith. Zenith means the peak of uh, the enjoyment, because there are three people now involved. Uh, Stay away to interfere in the love of the lover and beloved. But if we become maid servant of the beloved, then Krishna is the lover, Radharani is beloved. And if we become maid servant of, why directly Radharani? Lalita is next, because she is also standing very near to Lord Shri Krishna, Vishakha. So to become maid servant of Lalita and Vishakha, that desire gives opportunity to enjoy through our own devotional service to Vishakha or Lalita, but at the same time, what Lalita and Vishakha are enjoying in serving Radha Krishna. In serving Radha Krishna. Then Krishna's reciprocation to Radha is also being enjoyed. So it is what we call double whammy. Uh, uh, so this innocence and their selflessness in serving both their heroine and hero brings the karma to his zenith. Uh, Desire to enjoy the closeness of Lord Sri Krishna. But those who have been already the direct recipients of that closeness is Srimati Radharani, then again Lalita, Vishakha. So if we become maid servant of Lalita, Vishakha, then automatically we will be serving Radharani also through their approval. And Radharani is serving Krishna. So we get the enjoyment from, say Krishna, who is the closest with Radharani, and we are becoming close to the maidservant of Radharani, like Lalita and Vishakha. So we become maidservant of the maidservant of Srimati Radharani to serve Lord Krishna, like that. So they the desire is multiplied, the kama to be close becomes multiplied. Readers will notice how compatible Taddad Bhava Ichatma is with the practice of Raganuga Bhakti. Like Raganuga, it emphasizes mood over X and observation over participation. Become absorbed in the mood by observation rather than direct participation, replacing the dearmost characters of Lord Shri Krishna's love. We can't replace them by ourselves. That is not maturity, it is immature. And it also violates by transgression even Vaishnava etiquette. If we follow, we do not need to transgress our predecessor senior devotees who are closer to, say, spiritual master or intensified devotional service that one is now committing for the mood and mission of the spiritual master. Uh, so naturally, others will have to follow those who are assisting the spiritual master, like that. That is the best way to remain in closest touch, right? Like Raganuga, this Taddad Bhavichatma practice of Raganuga Bhakti, it emphasizes the mood over acts, and observation over participation. Unless and until you participate means you have to act. That is little, undesirable by the practitioner. Rather, he would adopt the mood and remain assisting through the observation. You should be remaining closed to the those who are perfected gopis like Radharani, Lalita, Vishakha, etc. Thus, it may be also said that the practice of Tad Bhava Ichatma Kamanuga Bhakti is considerably easier than that of Sambhogatma Kamanuga Bhakti. This terminology is better understood in this way, that remain the assistant of the gopis who are closely in communication, closely in touch with Krishna, like that. So you can imagine, Sambhoga doesn't mean entering into the sex life. It has never mentioned in uh, the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. That idea is not there. Some means together, and bhoga means to enjoy. But the closeness may be there. But the word has been so much pervertedly used in our dictionary. Sambhog is equivalent to sex. Now, acts of sex are not at all there. Uh, Love does not terminate. Love does not terminate. So closeness will keep on the flame of the love going on. But in material life, perverted life, the sex life terminates the love. As soon as the sex is over, it terminates the love. But here the love is always inflaming without indulgence in sexual activity. And both can enjoy, the lover and beloved can enjoy the extreme closeness. Of course, practitioners of Sambhogatma Kamanuga Bhakti desires to unite with Krishna not for their own enjoyment, for such motive runs against the grain of pure devotion. See? But to give Krishna conjugal enjoyment. Therefore, they aspire to serve independently in that way that group leaders like Sri Radhika and Chandravali do. There are two groups of Chandravali. Radha Rani's group is there, and Chandravali's group is there. Uh, and this is in competition of who loves Krishna more. There is no other perverted understanding. Both are complementary. The Uddipak for Krishna's love, who loves more? Competition is there. And Krishna enjoys that closeness and intensification of Taddad Bhavichatmika Kamanuga Bhakti. So that Taddad Bhavichatmika Kamanuga Bhaktas, they aspire to serve independently. In that way, that groups leaders like Sri Radhika and Chandravali do. This is why Raganuga Bhaktas preferred the path of Taddad Bhavichatma. They do not want to become competitors to group leaders, especially to the foremost gopi of Braja, Srimati Radharani. Nobody can compete. That is a taboo. If somebody becomes a competitor, that is some perversion is there. Of all Vaishnavas, all Vaishnavas know that Sri Radha is Krishna's favorite and she gives him the greater pleasure than anyone else. Therefore, devotees aspire after Kama will consider that the best way to serve Krishna is to assist Sri Radhika to serve him. And so they generally adopt the mood of Taddad Bhavichatma mood. Both verses above by Raghunath Das Goswami and the one below by Gopal Tapani Upanishad confirms this. Striya Uragendra Bhoga Bhujadanda Vishakta Dhiyo Vayam Apite Samaha Samadrasho Angrir Saroj Sudaha. Similarly, we Strutis, who generally see you as all pervading, will achieve the same nectar from your lotus feet that your consorts are able to relish because of their loving attraction to your mighty serpentine arms, for you look upon us as your consorts in the same way. This is beautiful prayers of personified Shruti, the Vedas. It is in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 87th chapter, 23rd verse, the prayers by personified Vedas. See, if personified Vedas can also desire, because they manifest their desire, because they are all extremely descriptions. They are describing their desire in the right connotation to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who gives the favor through his intimate devotees like Srimati Radharani. So Srimati Radharani's favor will be achieved by Lalita or Vishakha. And then if we become, assistant of Lalita Vishakha, that will be more congenial. Actually, it is the safe way to trade in. Otherwise, we'll be disqualified if we approach Krishna directly. That kind of, sense is not present in those who are, say, untrained, indisciplined Raganuga Bhaktas. They are Sahajiyas. They replace the gopis, they replace Radharani, they replace. They want to enjoy Krishna's directly without interference of them. How do they know? So you can see they create havoc in the society by misbehaving. I gave you an example before that this Sahajiya Ramanandi Sampradaya people took away one of our devotee. They were not following Krishna consciousness, but Sahajiyism, and they ruptured the family relationship and took away the lady. The lady blindly followed for the Sahajiya thing, and she was kissing Krishna's deity. What their situation they are doing without any repercussions, they can never go then. So to follow even that kind of desire cannot arise in the mind of those who are in discipline. They want to assist. They don't want to directly participate with Krishna. So if you assist the assistant of Lord Shri Krishna's intimate servants, that is the safest way to enjoy the uh, three-folded, multifolded, thing. And if we become one of the followers of 108 gopis, what to speak, that can be done to follow in the footsteps of 108 gopis. Aren't we chanting on the smallest bead, which is near Krishna, to take the full Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 108 times to the bigger bead, the biggest bead near Lord Krishna's bead? That is called, that bhavana or ichha is expressed in chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That becomes a meditation for those who are having the concept. The other concept has been like of a lesser uh, tad bhavatmika ichha. That is the concept of samudra manthan. Start with the tail and then go towards the mouth. It's a safer and increment. So when you chant with samudra manthan bhavana on your beads, you are on the platform of the low abiding demigod side. You do not start chanting from or going through the demon side first. No, like that. The idea is that when we chant on our beads, that bhavana has been invested. So, because there is no difference in chanting Hare Krishna and Krishna dancing on your tongue, and Rasa Lila is being performed by your inspiration of Tad Ichha Bhavatmika, but the other way around. So, tat tat bhavachet, tat tat bhavachet, bhavachet atma, kamanuga bhakti. So, the conception is there. We prefer to purchase those kind of beads, which has on one end the smallest bead and other end the biggest bead, like that. You got the idea, Haribol?
Gurmaj, yes.
Hello?
Hare Krishna, Gurmaj.
Yes.
Yeah, we understand. Thank you, Gurmaj.
Okay.
Yeah, Sita Raja Prabhu also agrees.
All right. The gopis who serve as maid servant of Sri Radhika or Radha or some other gopi like Chandravali are called manjaris. And their love is called manjari bhava. The Siddha Rupa of most Gaudiya acharyas is that of manjari. Siddha Rupa of most Gaudiya acharyas is that of manjari. So Gaur Gunodesha Dipika describes this personalities which manjari bhava they have. The gopis then comes the manjaris, and it will come as no surprise to the reader that awakening a longing for either conjugal mood is accomplished by hearing of Krishna's pastimes with the gopis. The same awakening takes place by seeing the deity form of Lord Krishna and Radha, provided that such deity worship is accompanied by hearing. In other words, the process of hearing Krishna's pastimes is sufficient to nurture bhava, but deity worship is not. It is dependent on the hearing process. The misinformed may think that it is improper for male sadhakas to show interest in the feminine mood to conduct characteristics of gopi. They are mistaken. And their mistake is the classic blunder of identifying the sadhaka rupa with siddha rupa. The body with mentally conceived identity. The sages in Dandakaranya forest were blessed by Lord Ramchandra to become gopis of Raja. They are just one example of sages meditating on Gopi Bhava, and their attainment is described by Sukadeva Goswami thus: Antargraha gata kachit gopyo labda vinirgamaha Krishnam tad bhavana yukta dadyur milita lochana. Some of the gopis, however, could not manage to get out of their houses, and instead they remained home with eyes closed, meditating upon him in pure love. So that is the example. The example of the sages also illuminates how sadhakas become progressively spiritualized by purification. A side topic, but one that is relevant to the subject of spontaneous devotional service. Some of the sages who took birth as gopis were less advanced than the others, so they continued to harbor a slight attachment to follow social norms in lieu of unconditionally following after Krishna. When born as gopis in Braja, these sages did not have the opportunity to meet with Krishna, eternal associate, and thus they remained slightly contaminated materially. Though mostly spiritual, their bodies also had a material aspect. For this reason, they could not go out to meet Krishna. However, the ordeal of separation from him, referred to in the verse above, burnt up the material aspect of their identities, and attaining purely spiritual forms, they followed the call of the flute at the later date. From that time on, they too were counted as one of Krishna's eternal beloveds. This concept of devotee's body being both spiritual and material is explained by Sri Kavi. Bhakti parishanu bhavo viraktirs anyatra chais trik ekakala prapadyamanasya यथा स्नतः स्यु तुष्टि पुष्टि क्षुद आपयो अनुघासम. Devotion, direct experience of Supreme Lord, and detachment from other things. These three occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the same way that the pleasure, nourishment, and relief from hunger comes simultaneously and increasingly with each bite for a person who engages in eating. From this verse, it can be seen that the sadhana bhakti spiritually transformed devotee's body, but it does so progressively. while devotees are still tainted by material attachment, there remains a proportionate material aspect to their being. In such condition, their bodies are both spiritual and material. As the sadhaka becomes increasingly absorbed in bhakti, the spiritual aspect of his body increases and the material aspect wanes. Finally, a stage of samadhi, he becomes fully spiritualized. For the Raganuga Bhakta sadhakas, the maturity of his raga will determine the extent of his spiritualization, and only when their attraction to Krishna becomes completely spontaneous do they enter the realm of transcendence of divine service. This was the case with some Rishi Chari gopis. Rishi Chari gopis. This is explained Rishi Chari gopis. That this subject of Rishi Chari gopis is materially tainted bodies, and example of the sadhakas is described in great depth by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary to Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 29th chapter, 9, 10, and 11 verses. So this reference is there. Rishi Chari gopis. So it is understood very well that sadhana bhakti spiritually transforms the devotee's body. But it does so progressively. While devotees are still tainted by material attachment, there remains a proportionate material aspect to their being. So naturally, it's a mixed up body. It is partially spiritualized, but partially still remaining material. If he becomes increasingly absorbed in bhakti, the spiritual aspect of the body increases and the material aspect wanes. Finally, this stage of samadhi, he becomes fully spiritualized. For Raganuga sadhakas, the maturity of his raga will determine the extent of his spiritualization. Right? So, these are all the measurements of the perfection in spiritual life. But this was Bhakti Parashanu Bhava Virakti Tri Ekakala. Anyatra Chayasa Tri Ekakala. Prapadyamanasya Yathasnatah Syu Tushti Pushti Kshud Apayo Anughasam. Anughasam means at every morsel he feels simultaneously nourishment, his hunger is waning, and satisfaction. That is experienced. So, if one who has taken shelter of Lord Shri Krishna, bhakti, parishanubhava means personal experience of the Supreme Lord, and virakti, detachment from the material world, simultaneously happens. So the sadhak is in the mixed position. He is gradually getting spiritualized. So the bhava also becomes gradually awakened. It cannot be artificially developed, but it does have a reciprocated position being developed when one becomes gradually pressurized by the practice. Practice of the process is perfect because the process is perfect. So I would like to stop here. Anybody has any question? We are entering into this subject matter is with a very clear understanding, and then because of our familiarity with the word like sambhog in material world, in material sense, and in perverted sense, that too is uh, not of the same nature when spiritually applied. Anybody has any question or comment, Prabhus?
Prakriti Sundari had her hand up before. I don't know if you answered her question or not. Prakriti Sundari?
That was accidentally, Mataji.
Oh, okay. And then we have some questions.
But I put up, yeah, it's okay, Mataji.
Okay. Now you have a question, you can ask him. There are a few questions by Asita Raja Prabhu as we went along. I'm not sure if you've answered them or not, because he started quite early. He was finding it difficult to understand how the maidservant enjoys the same bliss experienced by the mistress.
Yeah.
He said, can you explain how the maidservant enjoys the same bliss experienced by the mistresses when they desire to? It's hard to understand.
Why not? So actually, a kept maid servant of the mistresses. First of all, they can only become maid servant if they adopt their mood. Yes. Right? So there is no opposition of the mood. They want to serve the maid servant who is serving the even mistress. Assist. So increment of that mood, the maids, the gopis, like Radharani is feeling, that is more important because she is relishing. You cannot become maid servant of Krishna directly, because Krishna is the best assistant in the servants like Srimati Radharani in Chandravali. So how can you surpass? It's better to remain, but you are awarded to experience the enjoyment that Krishna feels, Radharani feels, and you will feel by serving Srimati Radharani. So it's a triple concentrated reward.
He's also thinking that when karma is reaching such a high level, how is it that they still don't desire to enjoy directly with Krishna?
But you can't replace Krishna's preference. You have to be within the limit. You can't replace Srimati Radharani and be on the side.
Okay. He's saying
it's extremely difficult.
He's saying thank you. He's understanding a little bit now.
Yeah, but the point is that Madhu Pandit Goswami, they are worshipping Janva Mata in place of Radharani. But Janva Mata herself was assisting Radharani.
Ananga Manjari, yeah.
Yes. And Radharani gave her the opportunity to worship Krishna directly. So that is that the kind of power is there, but it cannot be avoided. We are not following that Madhu Pandit's methodology, but they are part of that thing, that they made it possible for Janva Mata, who is not an ordinary personality. Nobody has competed Janva Mata in our sampradaya. You follow?
Yes, Gurmaj. Vidyalalasa has a hand up, and then something more from Asita Rajaprabhu. Vidyalalasa.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Haribol.
Gurudev, since it was said here that the Siddha Roop of most Gauriya Acharyas is that of a Manjari, and
Yes.
we know that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they revealed their identity. So did our Srila Prabhupada say anything about his Siddha Roop?
No.
Okay.
Prabhupada does not put that. What is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Manjari Roop? Who said that? They don't
I don't
reveal.
know.
They don't reveal.
But Bhaktivinoda Thakur is Kamal Manjari, no? I mean, I read about it somewhere. I don't remember exactly where.
Could be those who are following in their footsteps directly. But Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, at the same time, Srila Prabhupada, do not reveal this. So you cannot speculate,
Okay, good.
like that. The desire is there, and Krishna may, reward according to the intensity of Bhavatmika, Raganuga Bhavatmika. How the bhava is adopted. It is better and safer to adopt the bhava of those who are serving Lord Krishna directly. And they are assisting, they are assistants. There are no manjaris in Gopas, but the manjaris in Srimati Radharani, because the jiva is female in nature, it will be more attracted to serve the assistant of the gopis, and chief gopis are 8. So it is safer to remain in tutelage of the gopis. That is, they are called Yutheshwaris. They are young, but Ishwari means they are controlling the different moods of serving Lord Shri Krishna.
Thank you, Guru
Right?
Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Very good.
Asita Rajaprabhu also asked if the position of the manjaris is higher than that of the gopis because they're enjoying more.
Well, not in participation directly. In one way, they may enjoy more, but somehow or other, only Radharani has to be glorified.
Observation and then a question from Mahajwala Gopi Devi Dasi.
Haribol.
She's saying
Mahaujwala. 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 Radharani is Mahaujwala Gopi. Bolo.
Mirabai was Mirabai a Sahajiya? Because she saw a film made by ISKCON. The actor was saying, "I'm against Radharani's love" or something.
ISKCON never made a movie on Mirabai, but they are showing that the movie where Hemamalini is becoming the Mirabai. But everything is Sahajiya. What we understand that after all that characters, when she came to Vrindavan, and our history, according to, say, Rupa Goswami, was a strict brahmachari. They didn't want to discuss anything with, Sahajiya. But somehow or other, sometimes they are in confrontation. So the best was the explanation that was perceptible with proof that Mirabai got the lesson when she conversed with Rupa Goswami about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that the same Krishna came again to teach this, to prevent the Sahajiya. And she wrote that final, song in appreciation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Otherwise, you won't find anything. So we do not consider what is Mira's position in this Raganuga Bhakti. And it may not fit in the science that we are trying to learn. The sequential position of Mirabai may not fit anywhere, because she is not assisting anybody. Do you think Mirabai, knowing that she will replace Radharani? This Sahajiyas always think that when you become, in Gopi Bhav, you replace that Gopi and kick that Gopi out. That is not the mood of devotional service. It's offensive. Our discipline is to follow in the footsteps, not to put our foot on their foot. To put our foot on somebody's toes is always irritating and not acceptable. It becomes an insult. Don't put your foot on somebody's toes. That is not the system. System is dasa dasanudas. Anudasatva is extremely important in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's approach. Anu means follow. Dasatva. Don't try to replace the dasa. Sahajiyas want to replace the dasatva. So it's a mistake to that you will be able to enjoy by replacing a gopi by yourself. No, it's one-way track. Krishna doesn't like. You do not think of Krishna favorably. You think of yourself selfishly. And do you think Krishna will allow you? No, Krishna doesn't allow that. Krishna recognizes a devotee only if he is introduced by another devotee. This is the system strictly followed in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. It's always safe to remain subordinate. Got the idea? Haribol.
Hare Krishna. No, one message. No, the message comes from... No, Mahajwala didn't reply.
Okay, anybody else?
There's a comment from Asita Prabhu just giving some information. He said that Vamsidas Babaji had spoken that he saw Bhakti Siddhanta as a manjari, but the name was never mentioned.
on perfection of further, because the devotional service remains continued. He was very strict in sadhana and approaches because he had to face so many sahajiyas during his time. Even after his demise, people are offending. Even his spiritual master, when he passed away, his own god brothers were offending and dragging the Gaurkishore Das Babaji's body. Then he took bold step and threatened everybody, and he put a very honorable cremation and samadhi to him.
Mahachwala replied, "Thank you."
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All greetings.
Yes.
Maharaj, I just thought I will read this. There was this reference to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary of the 10th canto, 29th chapter.
Okay.
So this is about the Rishi Chari Gopis. So it's a very long purport. I'll just read the first paragraph, Maharaj. So in that, this is from Bhanuswami Maharaj's translation. Sri Rupa Goswami describes in Ujjvala Nilamani that there are two categories of gopis: the eternally perfect Nitya Siddhas and those who have become perfect by practicing Bhakti Yoga, Sadhana Siddhas. The Sadhana Siddhas are of two categories: those who belong to special groups and those who do not. There are also two classes of gopis belonging to the special groups, namely the Shruticharis, who came from the group of the personified Vedas, and the Rishicharis, who came from the group of sages who saw Lord Ramachandra in Dandakaranya forest. And later on in this purport, when he's going on to explain, he says those gopis who were unable to leave their homes and go to the Rasalila, they are the Rishichari gopis because they still had a little bit of material attachment, and that is why their husbands and relatives would stop them from growing, and therefore they just meditated on Lord Krishna at home, and by that process of meditation later they became purified and ultimately achieved Krishna.
Right. That's pretty good.
Yeah. He talks also about how this is then confirmed in other writings such as Padma Purana and also in couple of other
Yeah, the supporting statements there. But if we get this kind of references, what it strengthens the process in a perfect way. That we may not be misled, because there are so many other misunderstandings that are being conveyed without proper following. And after all, we are not perfected being in our sadhana, but yet we are given access to understand the system. So naturally, we do not immediately involve ourselves into a position taking role. We cannot enter. I have been telling from the very beginning that yes, accessibility to this literature is there, but still by our practice and fidelity to Srila Prabhupada, we may be given access to at least participate in similar way, but then understand the system where we belong. Yeah, we do not belong to the internal meditations yet. We are supposed to do through chanting Gayatris and so many things, meditation aspect, and develop purity. We have to simultaneously practice. If we keep on rolling our mind and this reading only, thinking that we have bypassed, it is that kind of transgression right there. You know, we are trying to replace our sadhana bhakti with raganuga bhakti. You can't replace. You have to perfect sadhana to get it transformed into raganuga. All right.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Haribol.
Thank you very much. Does anyone else want to ask a question? Janesh Rai has hand up.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Guruma, we were at the studio, so you've been talking and meditating on the Palyada Sikori. So would you like to listen for at least a minute or two?
Okay. Play it if you have.
This is a Palyada Sikori.
You are playing it? Seva samarpive. Seva samarpive. Dasi thori lagita sundar amar panya kabe. That's good enough, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu, it's not coming very well. Can you share it on the group instead? Vidyalalis has asked you share that on the group because we can't hear it properly.
Yeah.
Okay, I stopped it, Gurumaj.
Yeah, okay.
I just had
Yeah.
I've
All
sent
right.
him a message, and we asked him to share on the group so that other people can hear it properly.
Okay.
Yes.
Very nice.
Okay, thank you, Guruma. I think the plan is to finish the editing and bring it on your appearance day in Thailand. So hopefully we'll be able to success. We'll be sending the rough mixes in the next few days, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, good.
Okay, Guru Maharaj. Thank
Hare
you, Guru Maharaj. I thought
Krishna.
I'll just bring the mood because you've
Hare
been
Krishna.
talking about in this section quite a lot. So
Yeah, but now it is coming to the getting into the mood of assisting the gopis by becoming manjaris.
yes, Guru Maharaj.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Haribol, Srila Prabhupada
Hare
ki
Krishna, Hare
jai.
Bol. Jai.
Jai.
Guru
Thank
Maharaj
you.
ki jai.
Much.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.